everyone, this is Gary and today we're doing another life skills video. Now the way in which these videos work is this. There are three sections. This first section gives you a broad outline of the subject and the topics that we'll be covering as part of that subject. The middle section then deals with the meat of the subject, the detail, and I found it best to do that through a series of slides. And then the final section is just a quick summary of what we have covered. Now, in case you miss anything, all the detail that you hear and that you see in this video is also set out in the description box below, and in addition there are some links to other relevant videos. So, having done the quick introduction, let's just get into it. Okay, so let's get into it. And today we are looking at the 5 stages to AIDA selling techniques. Now, AIDA is of course the name of a well-known opera, but that's not what we are looking at today. We are looking at AIDA, which is a mnemonic, an easy way to remember a particular selling technique. And we answer the question, how does it work? Well, first of all, let's deal with the mnemonic itself, AIDA, A-I-D-A. What does it stand for? And what is it? Well, it is in short a selling technique. It's a very handy checklist also if you're writing material for marketing purposes or simply writing material that you want to use to get a message across, to persuade somebody, to move them from maybe from no to yes. And it's a handy checklist if you want just a way of starting something, starting a written project. But essentially it derives from a selling technique for products or services. It's hierarchical, it's got sequential stages, so you follow them through from 1 through 4, AIDA. It needs communication skills to some extent, but at the same time, the good thing is it will help to improve your communication skills if you are using this technique in your writing. So let's start with AIDA. What do each of those letters stand for? Well, the first one is attention. You need to get someone's attention. You need to arouse their interest in what you are trying to get across, and create some kind of desire to take action, and finally then set out for them the action that they need to take. So let's deal with the first one, attention, stage 1. In other words, you need a little bit of shock value, something disruptive, something unexpected. Hey you, to get their attention. Now, if you're selling something, don't treat your brand or name as a given, because that's the point of getting their attention, to bring their attention to what it is you're trying to sell, or indeed the message that you're trying to get across. So brand name or name is something that you ought to think about putting in that first attention grabbing sentence. Get their attention. Okay, stage 2, interest. What have you got to do? Well, quite simply, you've got to move them from like to want. You've got to move them from liking what you're saying to actually wanting what you are trying to sell to them, or the message that you want to persuade them of. It's got to be done in a way which is easy to understand. So you don't want to overcomplicate what you're trying to say. Keep it simple. That is another well-known phrase. And to do that, you need to know your client or customer. You can't just generate generic material. You have to think about the audience, about the reader, about your client, about your customer. What are their likes? What are likely to be their wants? And finally, how can you convert that into a need? So we move on to that third stage, desire. In other words, you've got to move them from want to need. You've gone from like to want, now you have to get them from want to need. So the next bit of your written material needs to move them in that direction. And one of the best ways to do that is to sell benefits and not features. It's no good saying, well, this car, for example, has good air conditioning, That's a well-known example. You have to start by saying, well, look, what do you find you most need from a car when it's really hot in the summer? And they might say, well, I need to stay cool. It can get quite hot, and you say, well, that's great because this car has really good air conditioning for the hot weather, but will also keep you warm in the winter. Those are benefits, not features. And that's what you need to sell. And the features need to be relevant to the needs, to their needs, which you have identified. Finally, then, you move on to the action stage. In other words, it's a call to action and a call to action now. In other words, if this is what you want in that car that I was just talking about, well, this is how we move that forward for you to be able to have that car and to do it in a way which is right for you. So it needs maybe some urgency. Well, it's a time-limited offer if you want this thing, if you want this service, if you want to take advantage of the benefits of the message I'm trying to get across. And it needs to be an easy decision for them to make. For example, if there's a free trial involved, or there's a trial period during which you can test whether what they think they like and what they like and want and what they need is actually all true. So make an easy decision for them. And then what happens after you have done all this? Well, there is life after AIDA. Once you've sold the product, once you have sold the service, once you have managed to get your message across, there are steps that must follow. In other words, it's just the beginning. After sales service, referrals or repeat business are the mechanisms that you use so as to continue that sales activity beyond that initial contact. And getting client customer satisfaction and feedback is critical in a growing feedback loop which will improve your business, the products you sell, the services you want them to buy, or indeed the message that you want to get across and to be actioned. And really, AIDA as a selling technique which has multiple uses across a range of businesses and services, well, it's as easy as that. Okay, so I hope you found that life skills video useful and interesting. And as I've said before, all the detail which I've covered in this video is also set out to assist you in the description box below, and you will also see a number of links to other relevant life skills videos. Now all that's really left for me to say after that is that if you like this video, please mark it as a like, and if you wish to see more videos like this, then please subscribe. Finally then, let me just say thank you very much for watching this video, and bye for now.